Top 25 most influential people of all time. So what makes people influential? Each one of these incredible and inspirational people used the power of their minds to change the world. Featuring these historical figures, interesting men and impactful people, this is a list of the 25 most influential people of all time. 25. Johannes Gutenberg. Johannes Gutenberg was a German goldsmith, inventor, printer and publisher. Gutenberg's invention of printing press had a monumental impact on the transmission of knowledge. 24. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was a French statesman, a military leader who rose to prominence during French Revolution. He dominated European affairs for nearly 2 decades while leading France against a series of coalitions as the Emperor of France from 1804 to 1814. 23. Martin Luther. Martin Luther was a German Führer, priest and professor of theology. He is best known as the seminal figure in the Protestant Reformation. He came to reject several teachings and practices of the Roman Catholic Church. Luther disputed the claim that freedom from God's punishment for sin could be purchased with money. 22. Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, economist, sociologist, journalist and socialist. His contribution to economics laid the basis for much of the current understanding of labor and its relation to capital. 21. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a Roman statesman and general who played a critical role in the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of Roman Empire. He was also a historian and author of Latin prose. 20. Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. Gautam Buddha was a philosopher, mendicant, spiritual teacher and leader who lived in ancient India. Buddhism is now 4th largest religion with over 520 million followers. 19. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer and futurist. He is best known for design of alternating current supply system. Tesla had nearly 200 patents on his name. 18. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a German politician and leader of the Nazi Party. He rose to power as the Chancellor of Germany in 1933 and then as Führer in 1934. During his dictatorship from 1933 to 1945, he initiated World War II. 17. Moses. Moses is the most important prophet in Judaism. He is also an important prophet in Christianity, Islam, Baha'i faith and a number of other Abrahamic religions that preach existence of one God. 16. George Washington. George Washington was the first president of USA. He led the Continental Army in victory over the British in the American Revolution. 15. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of America. Lincoln is most famous for leading the country during the American Civil War. He also worked for the freedom of slaves throughout the USA. 14. Mahatma Gandhi. Honored in India as the father of the nation, he pioneered and practiced the principles of Satyagraha, non-violent resistance to tyranny, Satya, truth, Sarvodaya, welfare of all and Ahimsa, non-violence. He led the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule. 13. Socrates. Socrates was a Greek philosopher from Athens who is credited as one of the founders of Western philosophy and as being the first moral philosopher of the Western ethical tradition of thought. Plato was one of his students. 12. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. is known for his contributions to the American civil rights movement in the 1960s. His most famous work is his I Have a Dream speech in 1963. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 for his non-violent resistance to racial prejudice in America. 11. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright and an actor. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His famous works are Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet and Julius Caesar. 10. Plato. Plato was an Athenian philosopher and mathematician in ancient Greece. He was the founder of the Platonist school of thought and academy, the first institution of higher learning and in the Western world. He is known as the father of idealism in philosophy. 9. Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was an English naturalist, geologist and biologist. He is best known for his contribution to the science of evolution. He proposed that all species of life have descended from common ancestors over time. 8. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedonia. Although king for less than 13 years, he changed the course of history. He amassed the largest empire in the entire ancient world. 7. Galileo Galilei. Galileo Galilei was an Italian astronomer, physicist and engineer, sometimes described as a polymath from Pisa. He has been called the father of observational astronomy, father of modern physics, scientific methods and modern science also. 6. Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was an Arab religious, social and political leader and the founder of Islam. According to Islamic doctrine, he was a prophet sent to preach and confirm the monotheistic teaching, preceded by Adam, Abraham, Moses, Jesus and other prophets. 5. Aristotle. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher and polymath. As the father of Western logic, Aristotle was the first to develop a formal system for reasoning. His writings cover many subjects including biology, logic, ethics, poetry, theatre, music and much more. 4. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was an Italian polymath of the Renaissance era whose areas of interest included invention, drawing, painting, sculpture, architecture, science, music, mathematics, engineering, literature, anatomy, geology, astronomy, medicine, botany, paleontology and cartography. His famous works are Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, Vitruvian Man, etc. 3. Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton was an English mathematician, physicist, astronomer, theologian and author who is widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists of all time and a key figure in the scientific revolution. He is best known for his universal law of gravitation, laws of motion, etc. 2. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist who developed the theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics. He proposed theories such as special relativity, Einstein's theory of gravity, energy-mass equivalence, and photoelectric effect, for which he received the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. 1. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was a first-century preacher and religious leader. He is the founder and central figure of Christianity. Christianity is the world's biggest religion with about 2.1 billion followers worldwide.